All right, this video is for my young people. I'm going to show you what you should be doing with your grant money. If you receive any money back from your university after financial aid goes through, I want you to take a look at this. All right, this is what I would have wished I would have known going into college, what I could have done with my money. So say you get $600 per semester. So that'd be $1,200 per year. And then you take $100 per month, $1,200 per year. You take that and you put it aside in a savings account. Um, and we're gonna take interest rate. We're gonna make it 3% just to be conservative. All right, so over those 4 years in school, we would have had contributed $5,400, as you can see here on this chart, and the 3% interest over 4 years compounded, and that $5,400 turned into almost $5,700. So, $300 over 3 years, that's not that much, obviously, but it's better than spending it, which is what I did with that money when I was receiving it in college. So, say you put that money in a savings account each month for the next 4 years, you graduate college, and now you have a savings account worth $5,695.66. Now that number is exactly how much money that account would be worth if you were making those numbers. Okay, so let's take that 57, what was it? 56, 95, 66. 56, 95, 66. All right, and then we're just gonna leave it in this account. We're gonna forget about it. And say we're gonna save it up for the next 20 years. And we're gonna go with 3% interest. So in 20 years, just that $5,000, $6,000, $5,700 is going to compound on that interest over time, and it's going to be worth $10,287 in the next 20 years. Um, so obviously you're not retiring on that money, but that's just an example of, just what putting that money aside and kind of forgetting about it can do. Let's say we open up a Roth IRA, um, or some kind of IRA, and over the next 20 years, we contributed $100 to that while also putting that initial $5,700 in. So let's just see how much of a difference if we contributed $100 into that per month over the next 20 years. Now look at that. So the account would be worth $42,000. Now, over time, we would have contributed almost $30,000. But since we were putting in that $100 per month, um, the principal is increasing, so the more interest that you're getting. So the interest increased by $2,000, a little over $2,000, versus if you just put that money in, like in the last illustration, the interest was, or actually, excuse me, the interest was only 5,000 because the account went up to a little over 10,000, right? So, just putting in $100 per month into some account like this over time is going to earn you $7,000 more in interest, as long as you continue to pay it over time. So these are just some basic ballpark numbers of, you know, what you can potentially do with the money that's being given to you in college that you might not necessarily be thinking about because certainly I had no idea about IRAs and the stock market and things like that when I got into college, and I didn't learn about it until I was about to graduate my business degree. So it's just food for thought for you young people who are trying to save, and if you're worried about being able to buy a house in the future and things like that, well, putting your money aside and putting it in something that's going to grow over time is one of the best ways you can ensure your financial security in the future.